Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, July 5th. Friendly reminder, the markets are closed on July 4th for Independence Day. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Couple of quick clarifications. First one, the price you see over here will be moving and changing, and the candlestick you see right there will also be changing and moving. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, RIVN. Big mover today. A lot of these stocks went up with Tesla news, but you can see down here, good solid volume, nice gap up, and then opening 30 minutes, good solid green candle, and then from there, the price is actually broken out, which is what creates an interesting scenario here. Now, in some senses, it's kind of a bummer, meaning if you like to play breakouts, well, the breakout, technically speaking, has already happened. But the fun thing about breakouts is it does lead to a valid question of, is this the start of something even bigger? Now think about that question. If nothing worthwhile happens, it makes no sense to say, oh, wow, is this the start of something bigger? Well, because nothing ever happened in the first place, but something has happened here. So sure, maybe you missed the breakout, but now you get to ask the exciting question, okay, could this be the start of something much bigger? Now, to be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe the price just rolls right back over, but that is a two-sided coin because, well, I mean, maybe it is the start of something bigger, and this thing just keeps ripping and roaring to the upside. So an exciting situation here. Breakout has happened, sure, but this could very well be the start of something much bigger. The week is young, so who knows? By Friday, is this thing up at like $30? I suppose you never know, but like I said, breakout has occurred, and worth keeping an eye on if you like to play these sorts of scenarios. Next one here, VINE, monster volume today. Huge mover for you penny stock players out there. And you got to think that a lot of people will be watching this one here headed into Wednesday. And nothing fancy here as far as resistance levels are concerned. Got to think that a lot of people are watching that 80-cent mark. Sure, the price did technically go above it, but right there didn't quite hit it. So seemingly, kind of this middle point here and a nice round number at 80 cents, I think is a level where it's safe to assume a lot of people are watching it. And lots of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing. Call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there are no guarantees, my point here is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price comes up here and then pushes up through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly, in my mind, a very plausible outcome that could play out from there. Again, just based on a simple premise that there's just going to be a bunch of people watching that level, and if it breaks, people are going to say, oh, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Okay, I'm supposed to buy. So nothing complicated, but trading doesn't always need to be, that complicated. If you like to play more so pullbacks, then an interesting level down there at that 57-cent mark. So we'll change that to green to represent the support. But overall, in my opinion, I think the most interesting and exciting dynamic of this one is all about that 80-cent mark and seeing if the price can get back up there and then push through it. Next one, CGC. And I mean, talk about a blast from the past. I remember when this thing was up over, was it up over $100 at some point? I can't remember, but it used to be a whole lot higher than this one is back in the marijuana popularity days. But huge move today, no doubt about it. Volume really came to life. I'm assuming there was some sort of news or something that came out today. But more of the story, once again, for the penny stock players, got to think a lot of them will be watching this one moving forward. And got to squeeze things down and make the chart a little bit harder to see. But that's always a good problem to have when you have to look back this far to figure out where potential battlegrounds are at. But as far as next key levels of resistance, main one here that I think a lot of people will probably be watching, right up there at the 64-cent mark. You can see this was a previous area of support, and then when it failed, classic example of that support acting as resistance, and then never hit it quite today, but got relatively close. So moving forward, 64 cents going to be that main area of resistance in terms of levels of support. Key level, if there is any sort of pullback, initially going to be, in my opinion, right there around that 57-cent mark, which is also essentially right there around that pink line there, that 200 period moving average. But moving forward, looking like potential bull flag pattern might be forming. Still need a couple more data points, need the price to remain between these couple lines. But if the price does do that on Wednesday, then yeah, you'd officially have a bull flag pattern, which is a very popular pattern, which once again reintroduces that whole talking topic of potential self-fulfilling prophecies. Next one, NIO, which is kind of tricky to talk about from a presentation standpoint where I sit, because there are multiple angles that, going into it, multiple perspective. What do I mean? Well, let's say you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you were buying right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within, 5 minutes. Well, then from that angle, the chart looks really, really bad because, yeah, there's no doubt about it. There was a deeper pullback from those highs. With that being said, let's say you care about more so the bigger picture point of view, meaning you're going to look at more than, just a few candles. Well, you have a set of lows there today, set of lows there, set of lows there, set of lows there, set of lows down here. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, again, emphasis on big picture, but from the big picture point of view, you'd still very clearly have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So again, I fully understand that if you're a day trader and you bought right there, you don't care about these stair steps. That's why I'm trying to emphasize the difference between more of a day trader standpoint and looking at things from the bigger picture point of view. So assuming you do care about big picture point of view, the overall trend is still plenty in the bulls' favor. Next one, AMC, good solid day here. Yes, there was a bit of a pullback, but I'm going to draw that very quickly. So yes, pullback here, but what was going on before the pullback? Well, you had this big move up. So just looking at essentially today's action, you have a nice bull flag pattern that has formed, which again, there is that if you're a day trader and you bought the high, then yeah, you're probably not too happy about that. But I want to look at things from a little bit different of a point of view, and that is that this area here of resistance seems to now be coming into play, which is right here around this $4.60 mark, and essentially is the top part of, more so an overall pattern. Again, if the price gets up to 460, that would imply that the bull flag here has already been broken. But with the break of the bull flag, in my mind, the big question becomes, can the price then break above 460? So that's going to be a very important level headed into next week. Once again, assuming that bull flag is even broken. So there's no guarantee that the bull flag breaks to the upside. But if it does, then I think that's where a lot of eyeballs will track that right to that 460 mark. So definitely a key level to watch. If there is a deeper pullback, then from the overarching standpoint, the main level, and really just keep this easiest right there, that purple line there, 50-period moving average, which is going to continue to, hence its name, move higher and higher. Current value of it right there at $4.29. But overall, good solid day. Bull flag is in effect, so we'll see how that carries on throughout the rest of the week. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here in a week and a half or so. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box to watch, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live online class. Next one, MARA, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched videos from last week because I talked about that area of resistance right there, and very nice break of it this morning, and then price never really looked back, just continued to move and move higher, broke to new highs, which was fantastic. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and just adjust this area of resistance up to those previous highs. Then a basic rule in charting, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So moving forward, if there is any sort of deeper pullback, newest area of support right there around $14.60. But then also, like we just talked about from more of the overarching standpoint, just continue to watch that purple line 50-period moving average, which you can see the price has done a very good job of respecting as time has gone by. So those will be the two main areas of support. In terms of levels of resistance, let me squeeze things down so you can get more context that it's been a very long time since the price has been up this high. So I'll zoom back in, but that's kind of the overall context of things. And then as far as levels of resistance, nothing fancy or complicated. Literally just a question of where did the party finally stop today for the bulls? And that was right up here at $15.65. So keep an eye on that level moving forward. But all in all, very nice start to the week. Next one, PLM, and this is a very, very basic approach moving forward around, think back to the whole talking topic of self-fulfilling prophecies. You got to think that everybody and their brother's uncle has noticed that, okay, yeah, the price essentially went flat right up there at the $2.02 mark, give or take a penny or two. But pointer being, every breakout player you got to think has drawn that line right there. So does that guarantee anything? Absolutely not, but does it make it valid? Does it make it plausible to think that if the consolidation eventually curls back up and breaks up through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a more than plausible outcome. So if you like these sorts of potential self-fulfilling prophecy situations, you like stocks down below $5, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, AHI, and I don't know if I noted this or not, but the markets closed at 1 p.m. Eastern time too. So a little late to be saying that, but if you're wondering why these charts look like there's not as many candles as normal, that is why, because the markets also closed on Monday early at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So probably should have noted that early on, so I apologize for that, but hopefully you already knew that. But anyways, as far as this one is concerned, I'm going through it pretty quickly because you've already heard me talk about it. Yes, the price did pull back right here. But if you can fill in the blank here, you probably know that I'm going to say next. Yeah, but what was happening before this downwards channel happened? Well, what was happening was this huge upward explosion right here. So we have ourselves another nice looking bull flag pattern. So if you like bull flags, you like stocks down below $10, I'd certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, TSLA Tesla. Very nice day today with a gap up, pulled back, and then started to show some signs of strength. But as far as I'm concerned and what I see here, we have this area of support. So let me get this all in play here, and I'm going to actually map this one out because it is Tesla, very popular stock. Maybe you've heard of it. We have our level of resistance right there, and then just keep it all one color. So resistance, support, big upwards move here. For your golfers, we'll make it a little bit more visual. Put the golf hole down here. So we have ourselves a good bull pennant pattern. So definitely on Tesla, it's valid to think self-fulfilling prophecies because it's such a popular stock. And you know that there's lots and lots of eyeballs watching it. So does that ultimately guarantee anything? It does not. But does it give it a little bit more evidence and probabilities that self-fulfilling prophecies could happen? Absolutely. So keep an eye on that upper part of the bull pennant. And if the price can push up through there, we'll see if that break right in and of itself causes just that much more momentum to show up. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise. It just allows you access at a lower price point, which makes it a very popular ETF. And like these other ones we were looking at, very, very, maybe you already know where I'm going to go with this line, but you're probably noticing, well, geez, the price got pretty flat right up here around the 41.50 mark. Now, technically speaking, it's more 41, 46-ish, give or take. But like I said, I think a lot of people have probably noticed that. And therefore, we once again have that talking topic of self-fulfilling prophecies. And then the other angle with that is over the past day and a half is we have the ability to draw this nice little upwards trending line right there, which does not guarantee anything, of course, but it does make it, that much more appealing in the sense of, if you picture this as kind of a spring and this spring is getting tighter and maybe it comes back down, it gets tighter, and maybe it comes back down. And then, do you get the break right there? Does the break happen, at that one, maybe at that one, or maybe no break ever happens. Maybe the price does come down there. But the point, and that's why risk management matters because there's no perfect pattern. But the point here being is you got to think that a lot of people have noticed these couple levels here and that moving into the rest of the week, there could very well be some self-fulfilling prophecies because this is, like I said, such a popular ETF and you got a lot of people watching the same lines and wondering the same things. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to go get signed up for the class. It'll be next week, Thursday, July 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Say happy Independence Day. Give me a stock that you traded today. Give me something that you're watching for later on in the week. But those two things help out the channel. Let me know that you enjoy these videos. And as long as I know that you are enjoying, I will continue to put in the time and effort to get this content out to you. So like I said, get signed up for that free class. Hit the like button, leave a comment below, and get out there. And for all you Americans, happy Independence Day.